So let's just dive deep in what uric acid is. Let's look at the dietary foods that cause uric acid. Someone's listening out there saying, listen, firstly, I need to check my uric acid. Obviously, we want it below 5.5 according to the milligrams per deciliter, probably around 0.3, 0.31, 0.32 in millimoles per liter. But what is uric acid?
Uric acid is the endpoint. It's what's left when our body only metabolizes three things, and they are alcohol, something called purines, which are the breakdown products in foods of DNA and RNA, and something else that maybe your audience has heard of called fructose. Who knew? And in modern times, it's the fructose. So if you were asking what are the top five, I would say fructose, purine, and alcohol. Okay. So it's that big of a deal. Our fructose consumption here in America went up 1,000% between 1970 and 1990. Wow. The average uric acid level here in America in the 1920s was 3.5. Now it's 6. And the increase in uric acid has been really in lockstep with our increased consumption of sugar. Table sugar, sucrose, is 50% fructose, 50% glucose. So again, if you're using table sugar, that's half fructose. So you're feeding right into this mechanism. You're telling your body winter's coming. Sure. When you eat table sugar or high fructose corn syrup or fructose in any one of its many, many names, you're telling your body, quick, make fat, raise my blood sugar, raise my blood pressure to prepare me for food scarcity. So I think I really simplified it just because it really hits home. Yeah. Every time you drink that soda or every time you use that sauce that has lots of sugar in it, it's hidden in so many things. And it's in over 60% of the grocery store foods, packaged foods here in America, one form of sweetener or another. Because we like sweet. That is a survival mechanism. It led us to understand that the food was safe. Sweet foods are not poisonous. And it triggered us to make fat and survive. But whenever you do that, and there are a few other things that you can do, you're activating the survival mechanism. You're making uric acid that even further metabolizes fructose. It's what we call a feed-forward cycle to scream to your body, whoa, emergency. We are in a survival state here. We've got to do everything we can. And how do we survive? We make fat. So, those are the big three. Purines come from foods that are very dense, cellular foods like liver and kidney, organ meats, venison, game meats, sardines, anchovies, shellfish like mollusks, scallops, mussels. It doesn't mean that those are necessarily bad foods. So plenty of your viewers are probably eating liver because it's got B12, it's got iron. There are upsides, and they may very well get away with it, but you got to know your uric acid level first. Step one is to cut the fructose. And it doesn't mean eliminate fruit, but it means eliminating the added fructose, the fruit juice, the sugar-sweetened beverages, etc. That's really step one. Then do you have to cut alcohol? You might, especially beer. Why? Because beer is a form of alcohol that dramatically raises uric acid because it contains alcohol, yes, but it contains a lot of purines, like we just talked about, because it's made from yeast. Yeast is very, very cellular, as you would imagine, and it's loaded with these purines. It's why in Japan, you can now buy purine-free beer because they get this connection between purines, uric acid, and down the line, what uric acid is doing to your metabolic health. So if you're going to drink alcohol, you're going to want to drink wine. If you're a male, wine really has no effect on your uric acid. If you're a woman, a little wine consumption has actually been associated with a bit lowering of the uric acid. Hard alcohol will raise uric acid, but the biggest threat would be drinking beer. Now, again, you may eat a small serving of liver or organ meat or shellfish and get away with it. That's why you need to follow the uric acid, have your healthcare provider draw that at the lab or get a home monitor. I'm certain that they're available to your followers in South Africa. You can, here in the States, you go online and you buy one, and there you go.